Hi, 안녕하세요. My name is Dawn, and I'm a passionate Korean teacher from MosaLingua. If you've always wanted to dive into the beautiful world of the Korean language, but were afraid of how long it might take to learn to read, today's your lucky day. By the end of this video, you'll be able to read and write in Hangul, the Korean script. And all this in less than 3 hours. Let's get started. Did you know that Hangul script is one of the youngest writing systems? The Hangul writing system was developed in the 15th century by a Korean king who envisioned a high level of literacy for his kingdom. It's considered to be one of the most logical writing systems ever designed, which makes it very easy to learn. So easy, it only takes a few hours to get a good grasp of it. Let's dive in. Unlike many other writing systems, Hangul does not construct words by placing letters side to side like with the Latin alphabet. Instead, it forms blocks of letters that represent syllables. So the first thing you need to know is that one character represents one syllable. It's a bit like a house. So imagine stacking letters like bricks to create a house. So that's one syllable, and we'll come back to this analogy later. Korean words can be represented by as little as one character or syllable, and a sentence is a series of those syllables. Unlike Chinese or Japanese, you do add space between words, and the reading direction is the same as the Latin alphabet, from left to right. And to illustrate what I just said, let's consider this very basic sentence in Korean. 몰라요. It means I don't know. I'm going to tell you how to read in a bit, but first let's see how Hangul works. Let's get back to the Hangul characters. As we know now, they each represent a syllable, and we know that they must include vowels and consonants, just like any syllable. So the key to build a Hangul character is first to locate the vowel. This is important because it will indicate how to read the character. If we think of the house analogy, the vowel is like the structure of the house that is a Hangul character. So let's get started. There are 21 vowels in Korean, 10 are basic, and 11 are doubles, meaning that they are the combinations of two basic vowels. So first let's look at 6 basic ones to start with. A as in analogy, as in law, we don't have the exact sound in English, but like this is just a sound when you make your lips stretch to the side and just go O as in hero, U as in cool, E as in bee. So do you see how some of them have a horizontal stroke and others have a vertical stroke? So this is a crucial element because the horizontal and the vertical strokes, this will tell you how to read the character. Let's see at the other vowels. Let's see ya as in yard, ya as in yang, yo as in New York, you as in you. So do you see how doubling the short strokes on the character adds the Y sound, like the yo sound at the beginning of these 4 basic vowels? So that's a one trick. So let's get back to our initial example, 몰라요. So can you find some of the vowels we learned in this sentence, 몰라요? If you said O, A, and yo, very good. So remember when I said that the vowel provides its character, the structure? So that's because the vowel defines where the consonant will be located in the character. And this depends whether the vowel is horizontal or vertical, meaning whether the long stroke is horizontal or vertical. Let's look at these first examples. O is horizontal, and the other characters are located above and below. A is vertical, and the other characters are located on the left and right. Yo is horizontal, and the other characters are located above and below. You're right. The other characters are the consonants of the syllables. So this is the first rule that you need to remember. So the direction of the vowel will define the layout of the character. If the vowel is horizontal, the layout of the character is vertical. And if the vowel is vertical, the layout will be horizontal. And now for the consonants. There are 14 basic consonants, but we're gonna focus on the 6 most common consonants. So first, kiop. Think of it as a gun. A kiop makes the sound of G or K. Nian looks like the clock that indicates a quarter past midnight. So it makes the sound of N in night. And there is mium, just like a mouth. Visualize a mouth like this, represents the M sound. Hiot, we can think of it's like a tongue of a snake. So it makes the S sound. And there is you. Think of it as a ring, because like at the start of a syllable it doesn't make any sound, but at the end of it, it sounds like in ring. And there is lili, and think of it as a road curved like this in a shape of lili. So the letter lil has a sound similar to the R in road. So just like we mentioned earlier, the reading direction is the same as with Latin-script. You need to read from left to right and from top to bottom when it's written vertically. Let's go back at the example sentence from earlier. Can you read it now? 몰라요. 몰라요. Good job. So, next, now that we have managed to read our first sentence in Korean, we can drive a general method of reading characters. So once you understand that, you just need to learn the remaining Hangul characters and you'll be good to go. There are a few final things that we need to take into account. Let's look at this another example. The word 갈. We can see the vertical vowel a, which indicates that the character is read from left to right. And with the consonant 그, 기억, you get the sound ga. However, we do see a third character at the bottom, the consonant lil. So, Korean syllables can have a final consonant. That's why this word is pronounced 갈, with the lil at the end of it, 갈. The final consonant is always located at the bottom of the character, so you cannot get it wrong. And to recap, the general approach to reading a Hangul character is the following. First, identify the vowels in the character. You just have to look at the long stroke. Second, check whether the vowel is horizontal or vertical. Third, based on the direction of the vowel, locate the first consonant. On the top if the vowel is horizontal, and on the left if the vowel is vertical. And for the final step, look for the presence of a final consonant at the bottom of the character. You can spot the vertical vowel a, so the first consonant is on the left. The character nil. At the bottom, there is a consonant lil, so we can read this character nal. Let's try with a final one, the word for water, 물. We've seen all the characters in this word, so pause the video and try to read it yourself. Exactly. The vowel is u and horizontal. This means that the initial consonant is at the top. Yes, exactly. You can find mium, and at the bottom, we've got the character lil again. So this word is pronounced 물. So, reading Hangul is not as hard as you thought, right? Quite the contrary. Its logic makes it easiest to learn by far. And of course, we haven't seen all the characters and their pronunciations here, but all the characters were designed to be easily learned and memorized. And that's why you won't need more than 3 hours to learn this alphabet and to be able to read Korean. If you're ready to dive in, that's great. So I highly recommend that you download our new app, MosaLingua Korean, to discover the best hacks to learn Hangul and the Korean language effortlessly. Very soon, not only will you be able to read Korean, but you'll also start your first words in my native language. If you found this video helpful and want to explore more about the Korean language, don't forget to like it and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much and happy learning!
If you learned something new from this video, give it a thumbs up. Then, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. Have a look around our channel for more hacks and tips. And if you're watching on another social media platform, like or follow our page. See you next time.